So if you're like us, you had no idea what the first trimester of pregnancy would be like. So we're here to enlighten and entertain you with our first trimester stories.
Very much entertaining. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time, but we're excited to share some fun insights that we have gotten from the first trimester. We're actually past the first trimester.
We're obviously very much past the first trimester, almost past the second. Currently 6 months, so we thought we better get this video out.
Yeah, exactly. So we wanted to share some kind of fun tips, fun stories that we've kind of experienced through the first trimester of pregnancy. So Christian, I want to give it to you because you are the one that is pregnant. I know that, look, guys, here's the thing. You got to understand that when your spouse gets pregnant, you will take on the pregnancy yourself. I just want you to hear that first.
I think that's mental. I think that's if you choose to.
There are some habits and some things that I start to mimic Christian on that I don't intentionally do, but I'll have cravings now.
Two become one, and Arden takes that to the fullest extent. But it's true. I mean, the two become one. You both are going through this journey. Females, we do a lot more of the changing, the growing, if you will, but it's a fun way to actually be intimately connected and to prepare for what this next season looks like as you two grow together. So for me, I went in thinking, hearing all of the horror stories. Everyone's like, oh, you're going to be nauseous, you're not going to feel good, you're going to cling to the toilet, and honestly, it was a little bit of a faith journey for me where I really thought, you know what, I get to reject the narrative that first trimester is awful. I mean, we started out, the very first thing was just telling you that I was pregnant. You guys got to see that journey. If you haven't, the video is right here. But that started off on such a high that we were like, we really want to continue celebrating, not just in the first trimester, but throughout. So first trimester does not have to be terrible. It can be celebratory.
Yeah. Well, and then also too, I think in this season, I was talking to someone today, this is a season where you're in this waiting game, but you're also not. Like, you've got to realize that the baby is constantly growing, and he's constantly
every day.
Yeah, he's hearing your voice. He's developing key attributes to himself. And so this was something that we started from the very beginning of just praying over our baby, praying that he was healthy, whole, praying from the very get-go that Christian's pregnancy was going to be everything that we hoped for. And this developed in us, really beginning our faith to believe for our children down the road, believe for our children to walk with God down the road, to be healthy and whole, and that we would have a healthy family that's going to encourage and challenge one another. It begins right there.
The type of parents we wanted to be right now, because the reality is, as soon as that baby is alive and well, like 6 weeks, you have your heartbeat, you become parents. And you start shaping and modeling things even before they are physically here out of the womb. Yeah. So for us, it's been really celebratory and preparatory.
Yeah, and I think for me personally, it's really has challenged me in new ways in terms of, one, taking care of my wife more in ways that I have not taken care of her in, and then
he never cooked me food, and now he cooks me food.
I know, but like the little things, like waking up early to make some breakfast and stuff like that. Like, I did that for you probably almost every single day of your first trimester. As I woke up before you.
Yeah, I think after 8 weeks.
Yeah, and I made food for you every single day. And so those acts that you'll discover in the first trimester, in the first trimester, are things that are going to be a reflection of how you want to honestly view your family, of this selfless view of, look, I don't care if I don't want to wake up this morning. Like, I have now other people depending. Like, we wake up early this morning, but I now,
a little sad.
I now have other people depending on me, and I want to lead my family well. And I think that's been something that God's really been challenging me in this season, is setting up that, establishing that for our family.
Yeah. So you had something practical. I mean, for me, if you're like, no, I want to know what to do to make this good and not terrible, I would eat before I got out of bed every single day in the first trimester. I mean, that really helped. I threw up one time in the first trimester from pregnancy induced. I did get food poisoning. I threw up 11 times, but I'm like, that wasn't baby related, that was food related. Not fun, but this too shall pass. That is my everyday. And also taking it every single day. Like, if you do have a day where, like that day I threw up or I wasn't feeling good, say you're really tired, whatever it may be, take that as a day mentality. 9 months, technically 10 months, isn't a short amount of time. So if you lump everything together, it's gonna feel very overwhelming. But if you say, hey, each week my baby's growing, each week there's new milestones, every day I get to experience it, it's really shaped the experience for me. So eat before you get out of bed. I ate frequent but small meals. What else did we do? I stayed active. I kept working out. That was huge for me, not just feeling like I'm getting big, I'm getting fat. Like, no, my body has very much felt like my body. And then this region just feels like, hey, this is my child taking some inventory, taking some real estate. And so it's been a really empowering and celebratory season.
Yeah, and I think for us is when we first went in to go Christian to do the first appointment for the doctor, is that we had a really bad experience. The doctor was kind of a little bit cold to us and
This was at 5 weeks.
Yeah, kind of treated us like you guys don't really know what you're doing, which we obviously knew that. Like, we were very humble about that, but she was kind of over exaggerating that and was kind of making us feel stupid for the questions we asked. And then when they were like, okay, well, we want to do an ultrasound on you to see the baby today, and we got really excited. But we went into the ultrasound, because she was only 5 weeks, we couldn't see her, or see the baby, couldn't see him. They had to do another ultrasound, and we still couldn't see him. And so it was a really kind of disheartening, honestly, first visit that we were like, man, we didn't even get to hear the heartbeat. We didn't get to see him, anything. And so that was an interesting time period for us, because then we had to go, it was like 6-8 weeks of us feeling like, well, Christian kind of had the questions, are we even pregnant? And we just continue to keep saying, no, we are pregnant. We know there's a baby in there. I actually started speaking to him before she even told me that we were pregnant. I kind of kept coming up to her belly, and I was like, yeah, and then you have a baby inside of you.
Yeah. Which that's a whole other story. We were talking about how we got pregnant.
Yeah, and so then it was so cool, because when we went back we had a 14-week ultrasound. They kind of did the heartbeat, and it was really hard to hear it. And they were like, okay, we'll go into it.
And it came back up. It's like, oh man, is that my stomach growling, or is that a heartbeat? It was that faint.
Yeah. And so we went into the ultrasound, and the lady put it right on her stomach, and immediately he was just right there, big, and just jumping around. And
I think the first thing she said, she's like, oh, that's a healthy baby. And I think what Arden's saying here is, realistically, you are a parent right now. Take the ground over your child. You're gonna hear things, it's just inevitable. There's gonna be people that don't speak life of your child, challenges you come up against, doubts that arise. The mother intuition is so real, but as people of faith, especially, we get to say, this baby is healthy, this baby is loved. I know what God's speaking to me through my child, and let him. And even if you're I'm not super familiar with faith and everything, being pregnant is one of the most miraculous things I've ever experienced. Take this time to really go all in with God and believe him, because trust me, there's so much I'm doing unintentionally that God wove me to carry this baby in my womb. That is in and of itself a miracle. Yeah,
and I think the acknowledgement that he's growing every single week, changing every single week, has been a fascinating fact for me. And so I hope this was an encouragement to you guys. And even I think for people who have been struggling to have children, it's that faith journey that we're talking about begins right where you guys are at. And so you continue to keep having that faith and knowing that God's going to bless you with some amazing kids, and we're believing that that's going to happen. However that's going to happen, I know God works in amazing, mysterious ways. But I hope this was helpful, and I hope we just wanted to kind of share this update just with you all, just so you guys could get a little taste and kind of hear from us more regularly, hopefully, but kind of just bring you into what we're still experiencing and navigating in this brand new time for us. I know there's so much things for me personally that I'm like, man, I do not know what to do at all, but I'm so excited to get into that season. I think it's a weird phase where it's normally if I don't know what I'm supposed to do, if I don't know what this next season is going, I'm a little scared of it, but I've been so excited for that next season and what is going to come, and so we're just kind of walking it together.
Yeah. So if you are trying to get pregnant, just found out you're pregnant, or at the end of your first trimester, leave a comment here. I mean, there's other women and moms that are going to read this, but if I can help answer any questions, if we can impart, like, hey, how did you do that one part you talked about? Write a comment. We want to chat with you guys, and we are so excited for your journey, almost as much as ours. I'm really excited for this baby, so I can't say exactly the same, but we're really pumped for you guys too.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
I'll probably be bigger too.